James Turner for the untouchable true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The untouchable true school sports empire. And y'all know the rest, man. Now listen. I've been wanting to speak on this for a little bit of time now, but I've just been so busy running around. But finally, we're here. So, some heavyweight boxing news, some heavyweight boxing talk. You know, Filip Hrgovic, big fan of his. I still do believe that he can become something in boxing. I haven't given up on Hrgovic. Although I will say he do got to improve because even though he won the Joe Joyce fight, there was a lot of vulnerabilities I saw, so he got to improve. But nonetheless, as far as the latest update with his career, the IBF has formally ordered Filip Hrgovic and Frank Sanchez to fight in an eliminator fight. And this is a very important fight for both men because, you know, Hrgovic, he came off of a win against Joe Joyce to bounce back from losing to Daniel Dubois just last year. In the case of Frank Sanchez, you know, he had that fight against Aji Cabello. You know, Aji Cabello has been running through everybody. You know, nobody can beat Aji Cabello right now. He's probably like one of the top heavyweights right now, to be honest. If we're talking about like recent fights and recent form. But yeah, Sanchez got knocked out by Cabello last year in 7 rounds. He's since then he's had a stay busy fight. He fought an 18-24 guy in New Mexico and got a stoppage there. So this is his first significant fight since the Aji Cabello fight. Filip Hrgovic, it is worth noting, and I may have to do another video about this if this goes through, but there was another fight that was supposed to take place between Fabio Worley and Jarrell Miller. That fight is no longer because Miller pulled out with an injury or something. So Worley is looking for a replacement. Hrgovic was one of the guys that they reached out to. Hrgovic accepted the fight, but there hasn't been any formal announcement of like who Worley's in the fight. I believe Hrgovic, Justice Hooney, and a couple other guys were in the mix, but he did accept, so that could be a fight between him and Worley. But we'll stay on topic. What kind of fight will Frank Sanchez and Filip Hrgovic be? Because really and truthfully, you look at Frank Sanchez, you know, I wouldn't say he's not a completely traditional Cuban fighter. Like, he's not a high output fighter, but he still likes to hold his ground in the mid-range and look to counterpunch. That's the kind of guy he is. He's got above average power. He's got heavy hands. He can knock you out if you're not careful. But I think, believe it or not, like, because when you think of Frank Sanchez's style and you think of Hrgovic's style, I think most boxing fans would say they both look lethargic in a lot of their fights. They both aren't high output guys. They are not fighters that you would associate with you know, being in like all action, entertaining fights. You know, they both have had many performances in their career where they've looked listless. So they had those similar. I actually think they're kind of similar. You know, good fighters, fantastic amateur pedigree. Both have lost at a high level in the heavyweight division. Both are not high output fighters. Both are high risk, low reward. So they're kind of in the same boat. They need each other in a sense. So I think this fight is going to be a chess match. Could it turn out to be a boring fight? I could definitely see it being a boring fight without a shadow of a doubt, because Filip Hrgovic, you know, he gasses out a lot more than he should, and I have my theories about why that is. But he might just not. It might just be time to accept that maybe Hrgovic doesn't have the greatest gas tank in the world, you know, and that's why he looks lethargic in his fights. I think what you're gonna see is, I think both guys are gonna pace themselves early in this fight. So I would expect early in this fight for Hrgovic and Sanchez to both offer up some listless type performances, listless type of just punch outputs. But I think somewhere in the middle to latter rounds, I think a fight is gonna break out, because I would have to believe that Hrgovic, you know, Hrgovic literally lost out on millions of dollars. If he would have beat Daniel Dubois, he would have fought Anthony Joshua at Wembley Stadium for millions of dollars and had a chance to really, you know, be where Dubois is at right now. And he blew that because he lost to Dubois and didn't perform to the best of his abilities. So I would expect desperation. I would expect Hrgovic to be the best he could possibly be going into that ring. And for Frank Sanchez, I would expect desperation from himself, because even though he's 32 years old on paper, listen, man, we know how these Cubanos do. He might be 37 on paper, but the real age might not match the paper age. So he might be older than we really know. And either way you cut it up, slice it, and dice it, people weren't running to fight Frank Sanchez before he lost, and they're not running to fight him after he lost. So he has to win this fight because it's going to get a little hard to get to where he wants to get to in boxing if he doesn't win it. And the winner of this fight is looking at becoming the mandatory for the IBF to, right now it's Daniel Dubois, but Dubois is going to fight Usyk. So who knows who the hell the champion will be, or if there will even be a champion. Because mind you, if Usyk wins the fight against Dubois, he might just drop the belts, and the belt might become vacant. So maybe the winner of this fight fights the next highest contender. So the winner of this fight is going to get a big opportunity sometime down the line within the next 12 to 24 months. That much is for certain. I'm really intrigued to see how this fight goes because, you know, Hrgovic, I would say Frank Sanchez moves better than Hrgovic. I would say they both don't have the best gas tanks. I think Hrgovic has the better right hand, right? I think Sanchez has the better jab. Hrgovic's jab is gonna need to be more of a factor in this fight because it's crazy. You go back and you watch Hrgovic's early fights as an amateur. He used his jab a lot more. He seemed to have a better base when he was actually an amateur, but then he got to the pros, and I don't know if he fell in love with his power or what happened, but he sometimes his jab is non-existent, and it needs to be a bigger factor in this fight. Because I'll tell you this: if it's not a bigger factor in this fight, Sanchez is gonna push him back, and he's going to inevitably stop him or outwork him to a point decision. So, this is a dangerous fight for Hrgovic. I want him to win. I really do. I want Hrgovic to go in there and knock out Frank Sanchez and show the world that he is what I think he is. But if I'm being honest with you guys, just being objective here, I can't be biased. I think Frank. I'm gonna lean towards Frank this fight. I'm gonna lean towards Frank Sanchez. I think Frank has the potential and the boxing skills to outwork Hrgovic and maybe stop him if he press him a little bit, because Hrgovic is not. He just has this habit of looking lethargic in his fights, and I have my theories, but I don't know why. So I'm leaning towards Frank Sanchez. But you guys know I really want Hrgovic to go in there and stop this dude and put you guys on notice to how good he really is, because it's been weird. Like, he's not showing the guy that I know he is, and it's pissing me off when I watch him. So he'll get a full camp for this fight on the purse bids. This fight's going to purse bid on May 15th. From what I've read and from what I've gathered, this fight's going to purse bid for May 15th. So we'll see what happens on May 15th. But those are my preliminary thoughts on the fight. Let me know what you guys think. Who you guys favoring? You guys favoring Hrgovic? You guys favoring Frank Sanchez? I think both guys have been stopped. Both guys have been vulnerable. Both guys have been lethargic. It's kind of a hard fight to pick, to be honest with you. I would lean slightly towards Frank Sanchez only because I think he has the better jab, and I think that jab can nullify a lot of what Hrgovic likes to do. So Hrgovic is going to have to make that jab a bigger factor in this fight, and then push Frank back and just show a higher output and a higher level of stamina. Because if it's not, I'm telling you right now, if he doesn't do that, he's losing this fight 1,000%. So good fight. Like the fight a lot. But leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. Like I say in every single one of these videos, you could love me or you could hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. I'm in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, and we got a monster in town. For more great boxing content from America to Japan and everywhere else in between, make sure you guys subscribe, stay tuned, and keep it locked.